Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Who are these people?
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Don't be rude.
Welcome to this special Sunday edition of Pro Wrestling Talk. I'm Angel Rivera alongside Witchy Perfect, and if I would have known that Backlash was that bad, I probably wouldn't have watched it last night. But
oh my god, it was terrible.
We did, and now we're here today on Sunday instead of Saturday. So hope everybody had a great Saturday.
I mean,
I
literally, we had to sit there through the agonizing hours of watching nonstop crap. No. All for your viewing pleasure as we totally dismantle it.
Yeah. So we going to review that.
Plus, we are also go ahead.
We're also going to talk about the Dark Side of the Ring, Billy Jack Haynes episode in particular. I mean,
which we both saw.
Yeah, and we also are going to, touch on and discuss Sabu's passing, which literally happened this morning.
Breaking news.
Last night, apparently, because I saw it this morning, so I don't know whether it was last night or this morning, but Sabu has passed away at the age of 60, so we will, discuss that and, go from there. And that also be talked about. I'll probably have some clips and we'll do other stuff. And, hope everybody enjoys the show. That was not English. And so let's get started with Backlash and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's see. CBC's here. Thank you again for joining us.
CBC.
Yeah. So Backlash was last night from, I was going to say Kiel Center. I don't even know what arena was that, but but
It
it
was in
wasn't at
St. Louis. Yeah.
the Enterprise Center. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's actually called the Kiel Center. It used to be called that, but unless it's like a new stadium and stuff. All right,
Mhm.
so it's from St. Louis, So they had 5 matches in the card. None of them were that particularly impressive, but especially the main event was just garbage. But we'll get started with the first match. I had plenty of issues with this match. That's not English again. I had plenty of issues with this match, but
It's better
Jacob
if this
Fatu,
show is done in Spanish, right?
Jacob Fatu
No
defeating
Espanol.
the fatal 4-way match for the U.S. title. Jacob Fatu beat LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre by pinfall. He pinned LA Knight, by the way. So LA Knight did eat the fall in this match because McIntyre and Priest disappeared and went through tables and stuff.
Kind of
in the
took each
crowd
other
for
out
no
of the
reason.
match, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You were right about this one. Jacob Fatu, retains. And then this, during the match, someone I had to look up because I don't know who he is. His name is Jeff Cobb. He has entered into the WWE. He was a indie guy. He was actually in Ring of Honor and also New Japan. As far as I looked up. He actually is a Hawaiian-born citizen, so an American citizen, and then moved to Guam when he was very young with his mom and his parents. So go ahead.
He's not even Samoan. Again, the WWE is sticking guys that are islanders into a Samoan bloodline angle. They did it with Tama Tonga and his brother Tongaloa. They're Tongan, they're not Samoan. Now with Jeff Cobb, they're doing it again. It's like, oh, you're an islander? Close enough. You're in the bloodline. Like, what the I mean, there's plenty of Samoan wrestlers that are part of that Fatu Anawahi family that could be in the bloodline. Instead, it's like they're hiring random islanders and sticking them in the bloodline. Anyway, the bloodline storyline is dead. I mean, I don't know why they're still trying to elongate this any longer. It's been 5 years. It's dead.
When I swear Michael Cole said something about, the bloodline lives, or I saw something about that. Like they're trying to bring the bloodline back or something.
Yeah, it's dead.
Not really sure exactly where they're getting at with that. But yeah, I mean, just let sleeping dogs lie, though I think they are trying to do remnants of it. I mean, that could be why they have Jeff Cobb coming into the WWE and signing a contract now. Can everyone hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I could hear you.
All right. Just in the comment section, guys, if you can tell me if you can hear me. So, yeah, I think that this new entry of the bloodline, I mean, if you look at Jacob Fatu, though, he was kind of like myth. Did you kind of see his face during the whole thing?
Yeah.
Like, who's this dude? Who brought this dude?
The story is he's trying to prove himself as U.S. champion, that he doesn't need help, and instead here comes Solo Sikoa immediately to help, not only to help him, but to also introduce a new member, even though him and Jacob are barely even together now. In fact, it seems like we talked about it last week. It seems like Solo is kind of like the lackey to Jacob, so the other way around. So I'm guessing Solo needed a new lackey, so it's like, okay, bring in hire Jeff Cobb, who, by the way, is like 40 years old. So they're for the first time he's getting hired in. He's older than we are for a couple of years, and so
wow.
Yeah, so he gets hired in, and I'm like, I never heard of this guy. Like everybody's marking out on the internet for Jeff Cobb. Like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I had to look up. I mean, I looked on Wikipedia. Now, mind you, you guys have to understand that Wikipedia is not exactly the bearer of truth when it comes to certain things. So again, I just kind of took it with a grain of salt, but that's what I found about Jeff Cobb, that he actually was in Ring of Honor. He was in New Japan and some indie circuits. But I mean, Ring of Honor is not something to, sneeze at. It's definitely something. If you could put that on your resume, I mean, it depends on when he was there. I didn't look at any dates. I just kind of skimmed through, really, just to kind of get a feel for who this dude was. Because I'm looking at, I said to you, I was like, who is this guy? Who is that dude? You're like 40, Jeff Cobb.
This man's 42 years old. Sorry, he's born 1982. So his promotions. He's an amateur wrestler, and he competed in 2004 Summer Olympics. So he's legit. I mean, legit amateur wrestler. It's not like he's some kind of indie flippy mark type guy. I mean, no, he's definitely for real. New Japan, United Empire, Ring of Honor, 2018 to 2020, and again in 2022. So this is before Tony bought Ring of Honor. So this is still Sinclair
Yeah, I was
Broadcasting
gonna
at
say,
this
I
point.
think it's didn't what's his name have it? Al Snow, but I want to say maybe even
No,
Jim Cornette had it.
Al Snow had OVW. He sold it.
OVW.
I think he sold it recently, but he had OVW because they did that Netflix documentary on him when he ran OVW.
Okay.
And yeah, Cobb also did some work for AEW from 2022 to 2024. So yeah, so he's been around the block. He's been in the business 20 plus years already. So and now he's coming in WWE at the age of 42 when he looks great. I mean, he looks,
Yeah, he looks like a Samoan. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not
That's
trying
why they're
to
sticking him in
start
the
anything, but
bloodline.
yeah,
That's why they're sticking him in the bloodline because I mean, he looks Samoan. Is like, fuck it, put him in the bloodline. We need
right.
more Samoans, anyways. But yeah, let's get back to the match, though. I mean, the match was awful, pretty bad.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
kept going. Well, Priest. What really
Mhm.
disappointed me was that. Sorry, I have to itch my ear. But what really disappointed me was Drew and Priest kind of took themselves out of the match, and they really didn't have to do that. I mean, and then they were going, into tables, and I'm like, oh, come
Mhm.
on, boys, stop with the tables. You have to do it every. And what did you tell me? What was your answer to me when I said, can we not do tables, please? You're
A
like, that was a
modern
modern
wrestling thing,
wrestling thing, yeah.
a modern wrestling trope that you have to use tables in matches because it's a They bastardized that from ECW. ECW, the fans like get the tape, Bubba and the Dudleys like
The Dudleys, right?
Devon, get the tables. Ever since then, it's like the fans that like want tables in every no DQ match. So it's like so that's gonna happen. I mean, but the issue is now Drew McIntyre may have a concussion because I'm not sure you saw, but when Damian Priest gave him his finish, where that move's called, into the tables, his head smacked in the concrete, the back of
Oh
McIntyre's head.
man.
So
Now
the
that doesn't
exam.
make me happy at all. I like Drew
Mhm,
McIntyre. Drew
mhm,
McIntyre is like the wrestler's wrestler. And he looks the
yeah,
part and everything. It's so disappointing.
he smacked the back of his head when instead of going to the table, his back of his head smacked on the concrete. So that's why you
That
saw
doesn't
him
make me
like doing
happy.
that pretty quickly. It's like, oh shit, I didn't notice it at first until I rewatched it. It's like, oh yeah. So again, I don't know. I blame whether that's blaming Damian Priest or not doing his move properly, or that's just an accident that happens in wrestling. But yeah, it's a dangerous spot to be doing, especially when I think the reason why because Triple H didn't want to beat Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre. So it's like, okay,
Like
just
that, but I mean,
get him
you
out of the
have to
match somehow.
yeah, you have to protect them. You can't have them injuring themselves and giving them concussions every damn day.
Yeah, so that's my theory on why they took themselves out of the match by going to a table like that. But yeah, they ended up beating LA Knight though. So yeah, Jacob retained. He should have retained. Now there's drama between him and Solo and Jacob, not Jacob, Jeff Cobb. Sorry. So we'll see what happens there in the future.
What
But
did
that
you
was
think of
not.
Jeff Cobb? I mean, other than, he looks the part, but what do you honestly think of him coming to this bloodline storyline?
Um, no, I mean it's indifferent, not indifference, but it's like really you're still trying to continue this by adding new members. I mean it's dead. I mean
Right.
the Tongans are both hurt, so they're not gonna see him for a while. Solos basically becomes Jacob Lackey, even though now it looks like he's trying to take back control by adding Jeff Cobb into this situation. And there's gonna be a bunch of drama in the coming weeks and months, and we'll see what happens. But I'm like, the bloodline's dead. I'm like, what are we really gonna continue this another 3 or 4 months? Yeah, I mean it's been 5 years already, and the original bloodline is separated and off doing their own things now. So Yeah, so this was not a good match. I was not a good opener. And it doesn't get better. So let's get to the next
Sleeper
match.
match.
The women's intercontinental title between Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. So Lyra Valkyria defeated Becky Lynch in a very weird way. Honestly, it was like a flippy, like roll up type pin. That was like one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Is like, is that your finish? But we'll get. But yeah, it took place. It was 18 minutes 45 seconds. I thought the match went way too long because Becky is not at this point. Actually, she's nearly 40. She's not really a wrestler anymore. She's more of a personality. For her to go 18 minutes is kind of tough for her to ask her to do. Even though she swears up and down in podcasts that she's in the best shape of her career, she can still go another 10 years. And I'm like, no, you can't. I've seen your work lately. I don't think you can go another 10 years. But yeah. So I was not impressed. I mean, Lyra Valkyria she looks the part, but everything else this comes across as terribly phony. From her promos, where she sounds like she's desperate. It looks like she's desperately trying to remember her lines. Like she has this like deer in headlights look in her face when she's supposed to be passionate and. I was like, oh, I'm so angry you betrayed me. You were my hero at one point in my life, and now you betrayed me, Becky, and I should have known better. But
Right.
she's like kind of like this, trying to, oh my God, let me not forget my lines here. Because
Yeah, it almost looks like she's like looking around like, Becky, what's my lines?
yeah,
No,
like,
you should know your lines.
yeah, I mean, she's in good shape. She's okay. She's fine in the ring, but it's like the microphone part. It's like a lot of these modern wrestlers can't get it. It's like they're kind of like
Well, and
either
did you
they can
people
go
I
ahead.
guess were I don't know if they were making fun of her fiance or if they were just kind of like,
They
that's your
were.
fiance. Look, guys, and I'm gonna be real frank with everyone because this kind of bugs the shit out of me. At least she has a fiance. I mean, if the only reason what you would make fun of her or make fun of her fiance is because you don't have one, because you're such a shit to live with that, I mean, look in the mirror. That's where you
Mhm.
find the asshole, guys.
So yeah, I saw that. What went viral is Becky went with Lyra over there to the corner and is like, "Oh, is this your boyfriend? Is this your fiance?" And they cut the camera to him, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's just." I didn't even think much of it. It's like looks like a skinny little guy, but God bless him. I mean,
I
clearly Lyra sees
honestly,
something in him.
and I'm also very guilty of this. I thought it was a woman.
Yeah,
Hey,
you did
each
tell me
their
that.
own. If she's gay, that's fine. But no, it was
Yeah.
a guy, and that's fine too. He kind of looks like Howard Stern. But I mean,
Yeah.
the heart wants what the heart wants, guys. And like I said, if you're gonna make fun of her for this guy who he's fine. He's fine looking. I mean, he's not my fiance. My fiance is hot. But I mean,
Yeah.
um uh but remember, if you're going to make fun of this situation, look in the mirror. Do you have a fiance? No, you probably don't. And you're
Mhm.
probably jealous and envious. So get off of it. It's not your
Apparently,
place.
he's a independent wrestler from the UK. So it's
Oh,
one of
okay.
these. Like he looks like basically a stereotypical tiny indie wrestler. I mean, that's what they are these days. They're
Yeah.
just these tiny, unnoticeable indie wrestlers. But again, I mean, they met in the UK obviously while going to the indie circuit there. So she made it to the WWE. I'm not sure whether he wants to be in WWE or not, but that's clearly her fiance and Becky, and then there was one post on X as like, "Oh, this man right here is Lyra Valkyria's fiance. Hey guys, anything is possible." Making fun of him how ugly he is allegedly. So it's like, come on,
Yeah.
is that necessary? I mean,
Again,
it's like,
guys, if you're going to make fun of the guy, then at least she has a fiance. Do you? And can you say your fiance is hot? I mean, I can because,
yeah,
that's just who I am. But, but I mean, when you literally See, this is what I don't like about people. Like people, oh well, haha, you're marrying an ugly guy. Yeah, and you could be marrying an ugly girl, or you could be marrying an ugly guy yourself if you're gay. So don't ever make fun of someone else unless you're ready to be made fun of yourself. Again, look in the mirror. That's where you find the asshole.
Yeah, this match again. It was
horrible. It looked like they were talking to each other, calling spots. Not like Cena, not like, hey, punch me.
It wasn't that blatant, but yeah, they were like
definitely read their lips.
Yeah, it's like Becky is trying to lead Lyra through this match, who's clearly not really ready for prime time yet, but she has the look and she is unique, but at the same time, it's like she needs some more time in developmental or something. And they brought her up. They put this women's intercontinental title on her. And the reason why Becky Lynch is going after it, because they need to inject some credibility into this new title. So it's like, oh, you see, Becky Lynch even wants this belt. So look how important.
Right, because I was telling you, I'm like, this is beneath Becky. She's been world women's champion, right? So this belt kind of, it seemed like below her. Like, why would she go for it? But if they're trying to put credibility into it,
you have there. That's like the only way you can do it is like having top girls like her going after these belts. Even though it probably would have injected even more credibility if she won it, but whatever. But yeah, it was not a good match. And
the other thing I was thinking of when watching this, everybody was kicking out of everything.
Oh, it happened all night.
Yeah, I mean, it literally was like, okay, just finish the damn match. I just kept going, damn it, just finish. I mean, why have finishers? I keep asking this question and no one can seem to answer it. Why have finishers if you're just going to kick out of everything? It didn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't. All right, so that was not a good match. The next match is not going to get much better. I mean, we have Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the Intercontinental, the men's Intercontinental, right after it. And this match only lasted 9 minutes and 20 seconds. So, whoops, what happened to my mic there? Sorry about that.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, this match only lasted 9 minutes and 20 seconds. So clearly, this match got cut for time. Because my guess is the Lyra Valkyria Becky Lynch match went long. So they cut this match by like a few minutes there because the show needed to end before 10 o'clock because the UFC pay-per-view was going on at 10 o'clock Eastern. So they didn't have time to go past 10 o'clock. So, but yeah, this match was not good either. I mean, I don't know whose fault it was, but
the thing is, I don't mind Dominic Mysterio. I mean, I know he's trying to surpass his father and everything. I get that. But this, yeah, you were right. This wasn't good. And then they had Chad Gable come out as Americano.
El Grande Americano.
Yeah, that was even more awful. I was like, come on, Chad, stay out of stuff.
Clearly, they're trying to build a feud between Penta and El Grande Americano in order to lead to a match at some point. Because Grande Americano is clearly a parody on Mexican Lucha Libre. So, and the Mexican Lucha Libre guys are already not happy with him. So,
well, no, I mean, they're making a mockery of the whole, Lucha Libre, side of it. And that can be very, I understand that, it can be very, I don't know what this, other than I don't like him. I don't like Chad Gable. So I don't like any of that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're trying to build a feud there, which is why El Grande Americano ultimately screwed Penta out of the Intercontinental. But if you look at it, they're protecting the hell out of Penta. They took 5 guys to beat him. It took Dominic, it took Carlito, it took Finn Balor, it took Dominic, Carlito, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and El Grande Americano, Chad Gable. So it took 5 men to beat him. So they definitely protected the hell out of Penta.
I mean, they weren't going to let him lose clean, but they should have. I guess they already did, didn't they? On Raw when he was against Penta on Raw in his first title defense.
Penta, I think he pinned. No, he pinned JD McDonough on Raw. Penta beat JD McDonough on Raw.
Yeah, but before that, when it was Penta and Rey Mysterio. Yeah,
Dominic, they have one on. I don't remember them having a one-on-one match before that. Maybe
Yeah,
they
because
did and I
JD
missed it.
Dunham pushed him. Remember? He
Yeah,
pushed
so
him off of the thing.
yeah, that was not clean. So yeah,
Yeah.
he hasn't had a clean loss, I don't think, since his debut. He's been pinned, but it hasn't been clean. The heels have screwed him out of belts and not belts, but they screwed him out of wins and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, here they screwed him out of a belt, but yeah. So again, this was not. They're setting up Penta versus El Grande Americano at some point down
Which
the
is
line.
Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry, but it's Chad Gable, guys. We all know it's Chad Gable.
And they're also they're considering having Chad Gable go down to Mexico as El Grande Americano in AAA. I'm like, he's gonna get killed down there. Don't do that. Mexicans take the lucha libre seriously.
Very seriously. Like Japanese guys, they take their wrestling very seriously too.
Yeah, he's gonna get plenty of heat, but it's not gonna be the good kind of heat. You know, you're gonna get him killed down there. Yeah. So I wouldn't, I understand the logic. Like, hey, he can be a top heel down there. He could be, but he could also end up dead. So it's like, I wouldn't send him down there. But that's just me. So, all right. So the next match, sadly, I'm sad to say this, but I think this was the best match in the night. Gunther defeating McAfee by submission.
I think you missed McIntyre. I know I missed him too. It's okay. No, I don't know if it was good because I mean it might have been the best match of the night because the rest was just shit to begin with. But I mean, you could tell that. And so let me go back a little bit. So this is Mrs.Witchy Perfect's star rating. So the first one I give 2 stars, and that was only because of Jacob Fatu, who is a man's man wrestler, and then of course Drew McIntyre. The second match I give 1 star, maybe a negative star because it was that bad. This match, the Dominic Mysterio one, I give a negative star because again it was bad. They couldn't, for some reason, they're pulling out 5 guys to beat Penta, and I really wasn't impressed with Penta. But this match, I have to say I give it 1 star because again, you could see Pat McAfee's punches were fake. You could see that they weren't, they were like that far away. So you could tell that he was definitely faking it. And at one point, I think I saw Gunther mouth something to him. And guys, with the spots, when you're literally mouthing stuff and I can see your mouth moving, not good. Not good.
Well, it's obvious that they trusted Gunther to carry Pat McAfee to a decent enough match, which he did. I mean,
and he did. And McAfee really, came out of his shell there where, he was, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. And he was in the Boston Crab and, you could tell he was in pain. And the whole Michael Cole thing, it's like, Michael Cole, if you're going to get in the fucking ring, get in the fucking ring. Otherwise, just stay where the fuck you are. I didn't like that when Michael Cole's like, I gotta leave, and he's up there. Come on, Pat, Michael Cole, sit the fuck down. You're a commentator. You're not even a good one because he watched. Remember, he watched the first match. Michael Cole did. If we could just talk about that briefly. The problem is, Michael Cole, the U.S. title was never WWE's until way after WCW was out of business.
Yeah,
why? It was never a WWE belt. It was never a WWF belt. It was a WCW belt that was actually supposed to be aligned with the Intercontinental belt that was WWE's. So Michael Cole botched. They're right there. He said, it was the WWF one. Pat Patterson was the first. No. That was the IC belt that you're talking about, Michael Cole.
He screwed up the belts. He got confused. Yeah, but again, the U.S. title was a WCW belt until when they sold it to Vince in 2001, and then it became a WWE belt. But before that, it was a WCW belt.
Right. But it had never been a WWF belt, not even when WCW was NWA.
Yeah. So this was and then the worst part about Michael Cole was he just stood out. The spot when he grabbed Gunther's leg in order to try to have Pat pin him. But he stood there blatantly, like just looking at Gunther's leg. Is like, oh, I know what's coming. Like, what are you doing? I mean, he just telegraphed the spot. He just telegraphed it.
That and the fact that literally he took that from, and I said this to you because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. because it was successful when Bobby did it. So
yeah, Bobby did
anyone, if you don't know what we're talking about, go back to, if you have Peacock, which I do, I have a subscription for Peacock. Go to WrestleMania 5 and watch the Rick Rude and Warrior match where Bobby grabs his leg and tries to like hide from the referee, but he pulls him down as 1, 2, 3, and Rick Rude wins the belt. That's what Michael Cole was trying to do.
And Warrior rolls out of the ring and starts chasing Bobby around the ring.
Yeah, he starts chasing Bobby around the ring because he got screwed out of the belt. Rick Rude becomes a new champ.
They tried this spot here, but they
tried that with Michael Cole and it did not work. Gunther kicked right back out of it.
But Michael Cole telegraphed it. He looked at his leg like, okay, when do I do it? When do I do it? Okay, now, it's like he telegraphed it. I know what's coming here. Stellar list, honestly, no. I wouldn't go back and watch it if you missed it.
Is Backlash worth watching? No spoilers. No. I mean, that's why we're going over.
We're reviewing it now, but
yeah, I mean, like
I wouldn't watch it.
They were trying. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it again. Yeah. I actually had to watch old wrestling just to get the taste out of my mouth. That's why I was like, oh shit, that's the spot that Bobby did in WrestleMania 5 in 1989. Yeah, 89. It was WrestleMania 5. And if you go back to WrestleMania 5 and watch the Rick Rude Warrior match, Bobby holds onto his leg and he's hiding and hiding 1, 2, 3, and Rick Rude becomes the new champ. That's what Michael Cole was trying to do. And I'm like, you are not Bobby Heenan. Stop it. Stop it. You're not Bobby Heenan.
So, yeah, this was probably, it was okay, which makes it the best match of the night by default, but, it wasn't like great either.
I still give it a 1.
All right, so let's get to the main event of the evening, which was everybody was looking forward to and paid their hard-earned money for, I'm sure, at the arenas. John Cena defeating Randy Orton by a pinfall. This was bad.
God-awful. It was god-awful.
I bet I said it was John Cena's fault again. Like, he can't go anymore.
You could literally read John's lips. He was literally calling spots. He wasn't like, hey, punch me. He wasn't doing that, but still, you could see his mouth move, guys, and it just was horrible.
This match was an overbooked piece of crap type of match where we had 3 ref bumps. 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3. The same referee got bumped twice, and once he went headfirst into the steel steps. And he came back at the end to count the 3. I'm like, wait, that's the original referee who got killed in the steel steps, and he's back to count the 3. Yep. And by the way, not selling. He's not doing this. He's not kind of like doing that. He just boop, boop, boop. Oh, it's over now. like I liked when the old school referees would sell like death, even when they're counting, like Earl Hebner used to do. When he took ref bumps, he would count like death, like.
Yeah. They showed that actually. They showed that where that ref bump, in the Piper match. That's a good referee bump, and I dare anyone to find a better one. But this was just okay. The first ref is down, and now they're like covering and nothing, and the count, and the crowd is counting. Whoopie-doo-dah, I just don't. I didn't like anything about this match. Like I said, I give it 2 stars for Randy Orton. He was trying, and he is the veteran of this. John Cena, I think he was in OVW with John Cena.
Yeah.
So
they both came up together.
Yeah. So they kind of came up together. The thing is, and even people on X picked this up and were asking the question when they were saying, thank you, Cena. Cena was showing emotion. I was like, fuck you, crowd. Fuck you, Cena. That's what I got to say. Fuck you, Cena.
3 ref bumps. What is this? WCW 99.
Yeah, exactly, right? They had to go through 3 refs. And it still sucked.
And Cena can't go. Cena can't go. I mean, it's like either he can't go or he doesn't give a shit. And just counting down the days until his contract is up so he can go back to Hollywood.
I definitely think he doesn't give a fuck. I think it's he don't give a fuck. And he knows at the end of the year he's out.
Yeah, they already announced his last match for December in Boston, his hometown. So it's already announced his last match. So he's counting down the days, like he literally did in that one promo. He's counting down the dates until his contract is up.
Right.
So,
And I think I said to you, I was just like, what I said on about SmackDown when someone came out of the crowd, I guess it was a flunky, jobber or something, comes out of the crowd pretending to be Randy Orton, and then
yeah,
Cena gives him the attitude adjustment, and and then he gets up and he starts, yelling at the crowd again, and the real Randy Orton, the real Randy Orton, please
he's
stand
like
up.
doing
He
behind
comes in and RKO's him. Well,
again.
the thing is, I said this because, no offense, guys, but John Cena has turned into a whiny little bitch. Literally, he's a whiny little bitch. Oh, it's all your fault. Now I'm going to stand out here with my microphone, and I'm going to say it's all the fans' fault, and I raised you. I was like, no, honey, I was a teenager and an adult when you became a babyface. So, but he's out here, wah, cry. I'm a whiny little bitch. And then, Randy Orton comes out and does his thing, kind of like what Cody Rhodes was doing. He would give him crossroads, and then Cena would be down forever. So what I said on YouTube was, look, John Cena's heel turn is nothing but a whiny little bitch scenario or syndrome.
Not good. It's not good.
And I said, why wait? You're saying, well, I can't wait, and I'm not going to miss you. Look, John Cena, the fans made you. I hate to tell your punk ass that, but the fans made you, and they can break you too. The only reason why, and again, this was a bad idea by The Rock or whoever. It was a bad idea to turn John Cena. The crowd does not want to boo him. But why wait? Just leave. If you don't need the fans, John, leave. But let me tell you something about this, John. When you leave, if you leave as a heel, no one will see your fucking movies. I don't care how much they cheer you. They will not see your fucking movies.
Oh, they'll flip him before he actually walks away. I mean, they have until the end of the year. They're definitely going to flip him babyface before he leaves. So it's not like he's going to leave as a heel. That's just for now. But getting back to the match, though, I mean, there was one ridiculous spot where the referee is the third ref bump where Cena hits the other referee with the belt. And Nick Aldis and all the suits come to the ring, all the producers, I guess, or agents. They're all in the ring. They're checking on the referee, and instead of one of them, like either Nick Aldis, somebody counting three. Randy gets furious. He's yelling at Nick Aldis, like, "Oh, here comes the RKO, Nick Aldis." There it is. He takes it. He eats another RKO. It's like the third one he's eaten in the last few weeks. And then all the agents or producers all eat RKOs, like, again, for no reason. It seems like, just give Cena time down on the ground because he's dead tired. You can tell. So Randy, they're stalling for time. Randy's like, let me hit RKOs on all of you. He's like, okay, get a big pop from the crowd. It did get a big pop, but it didn't make much sense. It just like you're beating up on, suits for no reason, So they all ate RKOs. Hurricane Helms was there in the suit. Jamie Noble there. There's a bunch of other former wrestlers there. So a few of them I recognize. They all got RKOs. And then eventually, I don't know what happens, but somehow Randy is. Oh no, it's after. No, I forgot. R-Truth comes to the ring.
Yeah,
remember that part? Like this is an overbooked mess. I mean, I forgot about that part. But R-Truth comes down to the ring. He's like, "Oh, don't hit my hero," blah blah blah. And then Randy RKO's him. And eventually Cena rolls up from behind when he's rested up and just gives him a low blow and nails him with the belt. 1, 2, 3. From the original referee, by the way, who's been knocked out for like 20 minutes. And he no-sells and counts to 3. So
he no-sells and counts to 3. That's why I only gave this 2 stars, because like I said, and then, Cena gets up and, he's like, I told you. I'm like, you told us what? You're a whiny little bitch. Shut up. And then again, the crowd. Fuck the crowd. I hate the damn crowd. They're like, thank you, Cena. Oh, why don't you just suck his dick while you're at it? Come on. The fans made John Cena. And if he doesn't miss them, c'est la vie. They will not see you. Yeah, we made you, and we can break you. I mean, Karrion Kross made this very, very prominent in his little spiel that he was saying, I'm trying to get on creative. I'm trying to do this. I love you, fans. He's correct. The fans made every one of these wrestlers. The fans made you. And we can take it away just like that. because we don't have to pay to see you.
Yeah, I say this. 2024 was great. Cody Rhodes was the champion most of the year. It was great matches. There were great stories and stuff. 2025 is going to be a brutal year if you're a WWE fan because it's going to be focused all around Cena being the champion in his final year.
Cena's, Cena's leaving, so we're supposed to kiss his ass and suck his dick. Turn him babyface now. That fan base does not want him to be a heel. They want him to be a babyface. You are literally burning up what you just did. You might as well take a match to a bunch of, money that you just sold. Because I'm telling you, Cena is not good as a heel. He's a whiny little bitch. So,
2025 is going to be a brutal year.
No, I'm not related to Mr. Perfect. I just like him.
Hunter
He's my favorite wrestler and has been since I was 4.
Yeah. Hunter has been banking too much on veterans right now. It's ruining the business. Remember, RK Bros run. Talent needs new opportunities. Look, again, I mean, 2025 is going to be a brutal year because they're going to have the year built around Cena being the champion. And I knew that from when Cena won the Elimination Chambers. He's going to get this belt at Mania. And I thought it was fine at first. Now it's like, oh, fuck, he should have never gotten this belt, and this is going to be terrible.
Yeah, this is the fans want the fans want John Cena to be a babyface. They wanted a babyface versus babyface match with Cody Rhodes. And then I think that's when John Cena should have gotten the belt, at least for a little while. And then Cody could ride off in the sunset, as he always says. Instead, they made Cody look like a fucking weak-ass punk that can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. The fans do not want to boo John Cena. That is prominent because you hear the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." They don't want to boo him. They literally were chanting, "Thank you, Cena," at the end of his match. And yeah, he might have gotten emotional about it. But if he's going to be a good heel, he needs to, not be such a whiny little bitch. Stop being a whiny little bitch, John. The fans made you and they can break you.
Cena being a heel needs more improvement around him. He needs a faction.
Yeah, well, The Rock, I think this was all The Rock's idea.
Yeah, it was The Rock's idea. When he initiated the turn with The Rock, I thought, okay, well, The Rock, I assumed The Rock would be around. And, this would be some sort of faction. You have Cena, you have Rock, and you have a young guy you can elevate. I don't know who it would have been, but instead, there was no plan. Rock came in, ruined the WrestleMania main event, disappeared. You haven't seen him since Elimination Chamber. So it's his fault.
And to answer your question, YouTube watcher, I think they did. Yeah, they ruined the year of Cody.
Yeah, they ruined that year-long title run.
Champion who was a weak-ass punk. The years about Roman, I think it was time. Everyone was sick of Roman being the WWE champion.
3.5 years. And
right. They wanted that finish the story Cody.
And he did, and it's perfect. They finished the story. and The Rock really ruined that one too. If it wasn't for Triple H and Cody and the fans, he would have been rocking Roman, and Rock would have beaten Roman at the end of the 3 like, what? So Rock wants to come back and then a 3.5 year title run. That's useless then. What's he gonna do? Like, oh yeah, I'm the champion. Oh, here, Triple H, I'm now go make my movies again. Right?
Yeah.
Just bury the title and bury everybody else in the process, the entire roster. So
yeah, it was just like I said, I gave it 2 stars because of Randy Orton. Randy was phenomenal. I think his work is so much better than it used to be when he was like in Evolution, and even when him and Cena first started, not in OVW, but in like when they started in WWE, their rivalry in WWE. I think that's what I'm clinging to, is that Randy Orton carried most of that match. You're right. Cena could not go, and he can't go. But why give him the belt and make him this whiny little bitch? He's just literally a whiny little bitch, and I'm tired of it. I don't even want to watch John Cena. Tomorrow on Raw, they're going to have CM Punk. That's who I want to hear from. I don't want to hear from a whiny little bitch like John Cena. I want to hear how CM Punk is taking this Paul Heyman turning on him, which is something else they did not bring up. They didn't have anything about Seth Rollins. They didn't build anything up with Seth Rollins or Jey Uso. I mean, they're starting to slowly, but they should have had something with Jey Uso and Seth Rollins, or Seth Rollins on Backlash. It would have made more fucking sense. do I have a Twitch or YouTube or Kick follow? I am on YouTube. You guys can click the link in the description field. I think. Do you have my links in there?
Yeah, your Kurt podcast is there. Both YouTube channels are there. Everything is there. You need.
Okay, so yeah,
If
I
you're
am
on
on YouTube and Rumble. I'm on YouTube and Rumble. I have a podcast dedicated to Kurt Hennig or Mr. Perfect. Check that out. We are on episode 85. 86 is coming out soon. So if you can, just check me out on Rumble and YouTube. So yeah, I do have a following. Check the description field, and you'll be able to find me there.
YouTube watcher says Jey Uso doesn't work as a single wrestler. We've been saying that for weeks. So.
Yeah, we've been saying that too. I don't like Jey Uso either because I mean I just think they felt sorry for him and thought, oh, it's time, or otherwise we'll send him back to Samoa.
Well, he's over. I mean, he needed to get that belt.
He's definitely over. Oh, he
needed to get that belt. Even if it's for a month or two, you need to get that belt in order to give the fans that WrestleMania moment, which they got finally.
But if they build something with Seth Rollins and Jey Uso, look for the fact that they are probably going to take the belt and give it to Rollins again.
Yeah. So we're going to go to the other platforms like 15 minutes. So I already put my Kick there. The YouTube, the Rumble should be there too. So
that's a good question. Sorry.
Migrating over there.
That's a good question, YouTube watcher. I think, oh boy. I really like the 88 to 91. And then I definitely like his babyface turn. I think his babyface turn was phenomenal, especially even for Kurt. He had a lot of a fan following. They would chant perfect, perfect. They put him in January, they put him against, well, in November. In November of 92, they put him against Razor and Ric Flair, but then they had that Ric Flair thing right before Flair went to WCW again. They put him with good people. So they put him with Luger at WrestleMania 9. And then eventually he would get into it with Shawn Michaels. So him and Shawn Michaels had that feud around SummerSlam 93. So I kind of like Mr. Perfect throughout the 90s. I think if he could have come back, I think it would have been the biggest thing to come back if he actually hadn't talked to Bischoff in 96. He was a commentator. He was thinking about coming back, but he had already talked to Eric Bischoff about that, about coming to WCW. So I think we got a little bit. I wish we could have seen Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Mr. Perfect in 96. And I know I showed that clip to you before, during one of my specials. We actually watched the commentating table with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mr. Perfect, and they were kind of going at it verbally. And I think that if Kurt had not talked to Eric Bischoff about coming to WCW in 97, I definitely could see Kurt.
It seemed like Vince was building something there. Like he wanted to see what the reaction would be of Austin and Perfect.
Right.
And it was great. I mean, it never led to any matches because Kurt would leave shortly after that. But yeah, I mean, if he would have stayed, they probably would have gotten Austin and Perfect. And
I think that would have been an awesome feud. It was definitely too short when he came back in 2002. Really quick, before we do migrate over, was I shocked about the news of Sabu? Yes.
It was sudden.
I wasn't much of an ECW fan.
We'll talk more about Sabu. We'll talk about in the second hour where I have some clips. We'll go to Kick and the other platforms. But yeah, I mean, that came out of nowhere.
The last thing we should talk about is the Billy Jack Haynes thing. Oh yeah. Because I don't know if some people know this, but before Mr. Perfect was Mr. Perfect, he was Kurt Hennig, of course. He was in Portland. He was also in AWA. He was in Portland around the time of Billy Jack Haynes, even though in Dark Side of the Ring, they glossed that over. They did not show any clips of excuse me, Billy Jack Haynes with Kurt. I know I've shown a couple of matches where Kurt has literally, he had a lot of tag team matches with Billy Jack. They never turned one against the other. So that was pretty cool. But when it comes to, Billy Jack Haynes and the fact that what I didn't like about it was that they had Dave Meltzer as a talking head. Yeah. Dave Meltzer makes stuff up. This is a guy who thinks that AEW is way better than Kurt and Brett back in 91. And I'm sorry, no. Okay, no way in hell are these Circus Olay performers, and that's being nice. There's no way in hell that those circus performers could literally be better than Kurt and Bret Hart back in SummerSlam in '91. No way. Get Dave Meltzer off of these Dark Side of the Rings because he makes a fool of himself. He's like, well, you can't believe anything Billy Jack Haynes says. We can't believe anything you say. You are delusional. You are literally telling us that these Circus du Soleil performers are better than fucking Kurt and Bret back in SummerSlam 1991. That match was phenomenal. That should have gotten 1,000 stars, okay, or infinity stars. Even though his back was bothering him, he still gave 110% to Bret and that crowd back in SummerSlam 91. No way. I hate you, Dave Meltzer. Go suck a dick. Literally, go suck a dick because you suck. And you should not be a part of the Dark Side of the Ring stuff. I'm not saying that Billy Jack Haynes was, the bearer of truth. All I'm saying is that Dave Meltzer should not be the one sitting there going, well, you can't believe everything he says.
Billy was, he puts himself, he puts himself in a lot of like situations where it's like, hey, I was involved in this death and that death, and I did this horrible crime and that horrible crime. I'm a witness to this horrible crime and that horrible crime. I'm like, dude, what? I mean, you're just putting
according to his friend, I'm just saying it is his friend, but his friend says he has receipts. He can really prove that he was dealing drugs or he was doing this and he was doing that.
No, I believe
the thing I just didn't like is they literally glossed over and they didn't show anything with Kurt. I was so disappointed.
Yeah, I believe that he definitely was mob connected and was dealing some sort of drugs because. Yeah. But anything else after that is like, well, I was a hitman and I did this and I did that. And he started this wrestling company in Oregon to compete with Don Owens, even though Don Owens made him. Right. Like, what are you doing, Billy? You're betraying Don here. Don is about to go out of business. You're trying to drive him further out of business. And
he didn't stay in there long. And they think that a lot, the reason why he stayed in business as long as he did is because he had mafia ties.
Yeah. So that Billy Jack only lasted a few shows, and he told Bill Alfonso tells the story. He's like, "Hey man, don't cash this check until Monday." He's like, "Uh-oh, I better cash this check now because he got no money."
Yeah,
and he got his money, but like do me a favor. I don't trust anybody in this business. Like, yeah, that's exactly your attitude should be. It's like you get a check, cash it immediately. Don't like, hey guy, can you wait till Monday? Trust me, I'll have the money there Monday.
Yeah,
then,
well,
I see somebody like Billy Jack.
Right. And what I was kind of like concerned about is the fact that, okay, so I get it that you, they had Rip Oliver's children. And for those who don't know who Rip Oliver is, if you watch like back in the in the early 80s, Portland wrestling, Rip Oliver was part of the Army, and then he would be also a part of the Klan, which also went after Kurt Hennig and Billy Jack Haynes, because there was a comment made, he's just tired of this faggot. I went, he said faggot. And I watched that clip 1,000 times, and every time I was just like, I can't believe I missed that. But Rip Oliver, towards the end of his life in the 2000, I think it was 2010 or 11 or something like that, he allowed Billy Jack Haynes to come and live with him. Now, you can make your speculation, you can do whatever, but his kids are literally against him. But then I also heard a rumor that he was estranged from his kids. Rip Oliver was. I don't know. All I know is what they were saying. But what I got to say to them is, look, guys, if Rip Oliver didn't want Billy Jack Haynes living with him, he would have said, no, sorry, dude, I can't let you. I can't let you live with me.
Allegedly, Billy Jack stole his drugs, his drugs needed, and he stole money from him too. And it's like, that's allegedly. I mean, Billy Jack denies that.
Right, by his kids.
He admits to all his crimes except for murdering his wife and stealing from Jack. I forget his name. What you just said?
Rip Oliver.
Rip Oliver. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only two crimes he denies. He admits to everything else he did, which
Mr. Perfect.
The only two crimes he denies is murdering his wife and stealing from Rip Oliver.
Right.
Who's to go to wrestling? Jeez,
Mr. Perfect.
I mean, you have to. I would have to go through eras because I can't just pick one wrestler. I mean,
I say Kurt Hennig. Kurt Hennig
Bret Hart
and
or
Mr.
Steve
Perfect.
Austin. If you give me a Mount Rushmore, I would say
Kurt, Rick Rude, and Kurt. Maybe Bret.
Steve Austin, Bret Hart, Undertaker.
Not Mr. Perfect. I see how it is.
Yeah, I don't know. There's 3 or 4 on Mount Rushmore. I think it's 4 presidents, but whatever. I mean, those are my top 5 or 10 or whatever I just said there. But yeah, I mean, it's which is why he admits to every single crime except for murdering his wife and stealing from Rip Oliver.
Right. For those who don't know anything about dementia, guys, my great grandmother had dementia before she passed. Now, she was never violent with me, but she had to ask me several times within a few minute period who I was. So it could be that she had Alzheimer's as well, but she also had dementia. And to deal with that with a loved one, because I loved my great grandmother before she passed. I mean, I loved my great grandmother anyway. But I mean, when you don't know about dementia, a best case scenario is he feared for his life. He said it was sort of a mercy killing. He said that himself, but or that's what he's supposed to have said. All I'm saying is, don't be surprised if it comes out that he feared for his life because she came after him with some kind of weapon or, scissors or something like that. It happens like that where literally he probably feared for his life. No, fuck Chris Jericho. Go suck a dick.
Six Chris Jericho's call it Mount Rushmore's Jericho.
No. Chris Jericho can go suck a dick.
It is true that WWE is looking for a new writer. They put a posting on LinkedIn, I think, to hire a new writer.
Really?
Yeah, hire new writers. They fired some writers right before when they cut the wrestlers. So like now they're hiring new writers. It's like, oh, look, the 2025 is going to be a shitty year in WWE because Cena's going to be the champion most of the year, and Jey Uso is the other champion. So it's not going to be good. 2024 is fantastic. With Gunther and Cody is the champion most of the year. So now it's going to be bad. So
like I said, guys, I don't like the whole John Cena is a babyface because he's such a whiny ass bitch. And I mean, just turn him back to a babyface. Get it over and done with. I'm tired of looking at him. He needs to go back to being a babyface. That way he won't be such a fucking bitch. He's such a whiny bitch. I'm sorry. But that's just the way I see things because, I mean, he just comes out here and just blames the damn fans. Oh, it's all your fault, blah, blah, blah. You did this and you did that. You know what? Fuck you, Cena. We don't have to come see you. Go suck a dick.
So, he's not, well, I mean...
Turn him back babyface. The fans do not want to boo John Cena at this point. Well, so there's no point in keeping him a heel.
I suspect they'll turn him right before he goes away, but yeah, I mean, and then what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, Billy Jack is still in jail. He's in jail for 6 months. His trial doesn't start until the end of the year.
Yeah, till December. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna be in jail until at least then, And
like I said, for no one who knows for anyone, again, if you don't know what dementia is like, it's not something you want to see, especially when a loved one goes through it. Now, his friend says he loved his wife very much. Again, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I can only tell you what I've experienced when it comes to dementia, and it's not a pretty picture. All I'm saying is it may have been self-defense. And I'm trying to be nice for all parties involved because they said that they didn't have any, they had some requests to talk to her family, but they all went unanswered. Yeah. So all I'm saying is let's just see this through the glass half full, that Billy Jack Haynes probably feared for his life.
Billy Jack could have been a huge star in wrestling. I mean, look at his unique size and his unique gimmicks and his personality. Yeah, he was a huge star in Portland. I'm talking about in WWF. He had a 1.5-year run where
I didn't see that.
Yeah, where they stuck him even with Hogan.
They stuck him with Hogan. Yeah, I saw that part.
Vince had plans for him, and his drug issues and.
Like I said, I was very disappointed that they didn't show any of the Portland stuff with Kurt. They totally glossed that over with the Billy Jack Haynes Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh no, bad cookies!
I will come through this camera and beat the fuck out of you. Mr. Perfect was not a whiny bitch.
John
Not
Cena
like
is
John
Mr.
Cena.
Perfect at WWE. All right. On that note, start migrating over to the other platforms because I'm gonna end the streams on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, I want to thank everybody for watching. Next week we'll probably be previewing Saturday night's main event because that's the next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. They've already announced Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the world title in
Oh
that
God!
show.
If they literally let Logan Paul win this, I'm gonna punch my screen.
I don't think he'll win the belt.
Logan Paul is another bitch, another whiny little bitch. Oh, look at me! I'm a YouTuber. I don't give a fuck. So am I. That doesn't mean I'm fucking women's wrestler or God's gift to wrestling or goddess gift to wrestling.
Yeah, they're scheduled, and apparently there's if you guys saw the post shows, John Cena gave an attitude adjustment to the table to R-Truth, which is going to lead to a title match too between R-Truth and John Cena.
I'm sorry, but if R-Truth wins, that'd be like David Arquette winning the WWE.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. What the fuck? You literally just pissed in the face of everyone who had that belt before David Arquette, who's a fucking actor, not a wrestler.
It's not good. So apparently that's also been penciled in for Saturday night's main event next Saturday. I'm like, really? So you're gonna go with Jey Uso, Logan Paul, and Cena and R-Truth? That's gonna be brutal. We gotta watch it because we gotta review it.
I know we gotta watch it for the fans.
But that's gonna be brutal.
Saturday night's main botch. That's
main botch. There was a lot of botches last night. Let me tell you.
Well, the only positive about that is seeing Jesse again, Jesse Ventura back on television. Because he only shows up for the Saturday night's main event. So.
Oh, he better, or I'll
I want to vote for a block.
But he's the only reason worth watching Saturday night's main event in the first place. And that was the only reason why he was on in the first place in the 80s is because NBC said, we want Jesse. And Vince is like, damn it. Hey, Jesse, can you come back?
Oh, I'll come back, but give me more money, and you gotta give me more money
and do this.
And I'm doing the Running Man at the end of the year, so I got to do that. I already signed that contract. I
still got to see that whole movie. All right, I'm sorry I didn't see it, but I did see Abraxas. All right.
Yeah. All right, so let me start wrapping up here on YouTube. Thank you everybody for watching. Go over to Kick, which is in the chat. Go over to Twitch, everything in the description box. Rumble should be there too. And have a nice week. Make sure you check out Angel in the Afternoons on Friday at 7. Hopefully these two will be able to be there. If not, then it's gonna be just me and Alex, and I'm not drunk. I'm just
I'm sure it is.
No. This time is I'm over caffeinated with Coke. So
oh no, just like Kurt was at WrestleMania 9.
Yeah,
He couldn't say the narcissist like Sewer.
Yeah. So So Angel in the Afternoon is Fridays at 7.
The Lexorcist.
Pro Wrestling Talk be back Saturday because then next Saturday we're not going to be on, so we'll be back Sunday to review Saturday night's main event and whatever else is going on.
We are finally doing a GTA 6 episode.
Yeah, I would.
That after this or what?
No, this week.
This week. Okay, this week. All right, you guys are gonna have to send me that link.
It'll probably be either Tuesday or Thursday.
I won't know what the fuck the hell you're talking about, but I'll still watch.
We'll watch trailer 2 after this episode.
That would be either Tuesday or Thursday. I don't know yet. I have to look at my schedule, figure out when I can do it. But I mean, so thank everybody for watching.
Go watch trailer 2. Don't let your kids watch it stuff.
Trust me, my 8-year-old doesn't watch that stuff. He watches other stuff.
All right, so thank everybody for watching. Go to the other platforms. We're mostly talking about Sabu and watching his stuff, and maybe I got some other videos and stuff. And see you guys next week. So let me get off of YouTube now. All right, here you go. That's done.